Hello students, this is my 8th lecture and in this lecture I am going to explain the functional group interconversion. It is also denoted as FGI. Now in last several lectures I have explained the retrosynthetic analysis and that what is synthetic analysis is the FGI operation should result the real reaction. This is also called as a real approach. In last lecture, I have already explained that disconnection approach is an imaginary approach and the FGI operation is always a real approach. Means if you want to convert the NH2 into NO2, if you want to convert COCl into COOH or acetyl group into the acetic acid, there should be a proper reagent and the reaction should be a real. Alright, there should not, we cannot consider this conversion as an imaginary conversion. You cannot convert any group into any group. Alright, so the group conversion is always fixed. The group conversion is always real. So this is the key point of the FGI operation. So please remember this point is very important. The group conversion is always fixed and the real one. Alright, now what is the next point is, let us see some more definitions here I have explained already. Now this is a process of converting one functional group into the another one. So what are those operations or what are those reactions? Those reactions are nothing but substitution reaction, addition reaction, elimination reaction or oxidation reaction, etc., etc. But they should be considered in the reverse. The operation should be a reverse operation under suitable condition. So whenever you apply FGI with the help of various types of reactions, for example, just now I have told you that the substitution, addition, elimination, oxidation, whatever. So the reaction conditions are very, very important. At the same time, you have to apply proper reagents, which reagent is necessary to convert the one functional group into the another functional group. That is a very important characteristic of the FGI. Otherwise, you cannot proceed in the forward direction. Please remember this point. Now, I have quoted over here two examples where I have shown you that the conversion, now here this arrow means a reverse direction. It means that I just wanted to explain that the reverse, I just wanted to convert this CO group into this CHOH. Alright, this arrow is a reverse arrow. Please remember that this is a reverse arrow. So, this arrow is always represents a reverse direction. Means my thought process is from this point to this point. So my thought process is I have started from here and ending with over here. So from carbonyl group to or from ketone to hydroxy group. So when I want to convert the ketone from ketone to hydroxyl group, so which reagent is important? So lithium aluminum hydride you can use for the for this conversion. There are some more reagents. So in later cases I will explain you or I will tell you there are so many reagents so that we can apply or we can add those reagents and we can put some reaction conditions, or those reaction conditions are also called as a suitable reaction conditions. So the operation will be only possible when you apply a suitable reaction conditions. The meaning is, what is the meaning of suitable conditions? Means you have to apply proper reagent, you have to apply proper temperature, proper parameter, so that you can convert one functional group into the another functional group. Now here the reverse is the case again. Now I want to convert this alcohol. So this is the alcohol. So I want to convert this alcohol into the carbonyl group. Alright. So the reverse thought process will be alcohol into the CO. So what reagent I need to use over here, that is a potassium dichromate or the chromates. Alright. So chromates will oxidize the OH group and you will get the formation of carbonyl group. So these are some points we need to remember over here. Another example I can quote over here. Let us see the another example where you can see that. Now let us see the another example. The example is, this is a very simple example. So I want to convert this by putting FgI over here. Now I want to convert this NH2 into NO2. So here I am just writing down the conversion. So this part is okay with. Now both this group, they are at the meta position. Nitro is present at the meta position of the COCH3. All right. Now here again the conversion is from. So which reagent I have to put over here? FgI will tell you that I have to reduce this one. So for the reduction, you can use a zinc dust or in the presence of carbon, or you can use H2 into palladium and the charcoal. So this is there are various reagents. With the help of those reagents you can convert, you can reduce. So the reaction is called as the reduction. The reaction is reduction. So this part we have I think I forgot to write over here. So the reduction is also a major part of over here. Substitution, addition, elimination, oxidation, reduction, etc. There might be some rearrangement also, as and when required we can apply the various mechanism in the various structures in various reactions. All right. Now here conversion of CO to OH, again this is a reduction. This is a reduction part. Now where conversion of OH into this is a oxidation part. So what you need to put over here, so this conversion from right to left conversion. All right. So that conversion you must write on this arrow, and that particular reagent you need to write on the arrow. So this is how you have to present the FgI. All right. I think with some more examples, I will explain you the details about the FgI.
With the help of this molecule, we can easily understand the concept of functional group interconversion. Now, dear students, why there is a need to introduce a functional group interconversion concept or the approach? Why the disconnection approach fails in some chemical reactions? Where do we start and when we plan a synthesis, or how we can start a retrosynthetic analysis? So these are the various doubts in our mind. In my previous lectures, I have explained several examples. In those examples, I have also asked to read the molecule. While reading the molecule, we have to write down the observations. We have to note the observations. What are those observations? Like functional groups. What is the nature of that functional group? What is the pattern of that molecule, etc., etc. Now, some additional guidelines I am going to explain over here. Now, with the help of these guidelines will help us to apply the logical approach to the retrosynthesis. Additionally, how we can plan various steps in the synthesis. Those steps can be also explained. Then the chemical transformations can be identified with the help of those guidelines. So this much information is quite sufficient to apply the functional group interconversion criteria to the molecule. These guidelines, please remember, these guidelines, they are not the rules. These guidelines will definitely help us to resolve the complicated retrosynthetic analysis. So let us see one by one. How can we apply a logical approach to synthesize this target molecule, and how can we apply these guidelines? So let us see one by one. So in this molecule, I am going to write down this molecule once again. Here, the molecule I am rewriting over here. This is a now the very first thing is identify the functional groups. Now here I am going to read the molecule and what I observe. So I would like to write the observations over here. Now what are the observations? The first observation, what functional groups are present? Now here I can see that the NH2 and the COCH3. All right. So this is a, here I can mark this as a amino group, and the second one is the ketone or keto group. So ketone. And what is the position? What are the positions? The relative positions. The relative positions are they are meta to each other. They present at the meta position of each other. So this is the another observation. Meta position to each other. And then the next, so moving to the next observation or next guideline. The first guideline we have finished. That is the identify the functional groups. Two functional groups I can see over here. One is the amino group and other one is the ketone groups. All right. So actually the functional groups, they are the signpost to the retrosynthesis. And without functionality, we have a very limited reactions at our disposal. So frequently the control where we can apply disconnection. So the functional groups, they have a complete control over the disconnection. That is why we have to identify the various functional groups, their relative electronegativity, the characteristic, etc., etc. Now moving to the next point, that is a pattern or the nature of the substituents. Now here in the pattern, what we observe that now the amino group, what is the pattern or the nature of the substituent? So the nature of this amino group is, this is a ortho para directing effect. It exerts ortho para directing effect. And this ketone group, it exerts meta directing effect. It exerts meta-directing effect. All right. Now, with the help of these pattern of these substituents, we can easily moving towards the next criteria, that is the examine the disconnections. Now, with the help of this third observation, that I know the NH2 is having ortho and para directing effect, it exerts, and the COCH3 exerts the meta directing effect. So this information is very valuable information for the disconnection. Then examine the disconnection. Now, in this case, examination of disconnection means, as I told you in the in my various examples in my previous lectures, when we have discussed the pattern of the molecule and the nature of the substituents. Now, the most important information or the valuable information we got from this observation, that the NH2 is exerting orthoparadirecting effect, and the ketonic group exerts meta-directing effect. Now, with this information, we can proceed to our next guideline, that is the we have to examine the disconnection approach over here. So there are various pathways. So which disconnection is possible disconnection? So we have to try all the possible disconnections over here. So let us try the possible disconnection. So here I can put a so this part we have finished. Now we are going to examine the disconnection approach, that is a fifth point. Now here again I have already written the A approach and the B approach. So for the better clarity, I can draw again a separate molecule and I will examine the disconnection approach over here. So let us see. Now this disconnection approach will be a A path, and this another disconnection approach will be the B path. Now A path, I can see that this will be a A path or this will be a B path. So here also A path and the B path I can a little bit change. Now here let us see the A path, and when you disconnect the CC disconnection. Now the synthons here obtained, these are the synthons. These are the synthons where NH2, the negative charge will stay at the aromatic ring and the positive charge will be at carbon of the carbonyl compound. And let us see the synthons, the synthetic equivalents. These are the synthons. So just putting hydrogen over here will give you a hydrocarbon, that is the aniline, and the this one will be a acyl chloride. All right. So these are the synthetic equivalents or the starting material. All right. This is your A path. And what about B path? B path, this is the B approach. So here there will be a CH3. This is a CN disconnection, and the negative charge will be developed, will stay at the aromatic ring, and another synthon is NH2. So what are the chemical equivalents? The synthetic equivalents. The synthetic equivalents are a simple acetophenone. It is easily available. And what about this NH2? No synthetic equivalents are available for the NH2. It means that the disconnection B is not feasible. So disconnection B is, path B is not feasible path, because we could not obtain the proper synthons, or though we obtain synthons, but no synthetic equivalents are available for NH2. So this is not good path. Now what about the A path? Here we got aniline and the acetyl chloride. Both are commercially available and they are very good synthetic equivalents. They are very good synthetic equivalents. But the question arises over here, when we use this molecule as a starting material, what is our need? We should substitute COCH3 at the meta position. Alright, and just observe the starting material. Now here when we observe this, whether the all condition, that is the regioselectivity, the chemoselectivity, whether these conditions are fulfilled or not. Whether these conditions are fulfilled or not, that we have to observe. Now in this case, so I forgot to write the stereoselectivity also. So these are the very important points in the any organic synthesis. Now when we consider this as a starting material, so these 3 points, the stereoselectivity, regioselectivity and the chemoselectivity arises. These are the major issues in the organic synthesis. Now for the substitution. But if we observe that what is the pattern of this NH2 or the nature of this substituent, it has a orthopara directing effect. Alright. So though we proceed with the acetylation. So what will happen? The first thing is this group will be acetylated, because acetyl group will always act as a protecting group for the NH2. So the first thing will be the protecting group. It acts as a protecting group. Then the acetylation will take place at the para position, because the ortho position will be blocked because of the acetyl group. So the desired product will not obtain. Our desired reaction center is the meta position. So this meta position now will not be occupied by the acetyl group. So there is a need to think over that whether this disconnection approach will work or not. Whether the stereoselectivity, the regioselectivity and the chemoselectivity works over here or not. When we apply this B disconnection, we obtain aniline and the acetyl chloride as a starting material. And when we start the synthesis, what we observe that NH2 group undergo acetylation first, and then even if we proceed with the acetylation, the ortho position will not, the ortho position also blocked with the acetyl group because of the bulkiness, and the incoming acetyl group will occupied at the para position. So meta position will still remain vacant. unsubstituted. All right. So our goal is to substitute the COCH3 at the meta position. So here the disconnection approach fails. In this reaction, we have to think in such a way that this group will act as a meta director. All right. So it means that the after examination with the disconnection approach, what we found that the path A and path B both pathways are not feasible. Are not feasible. The first pathway is not feasible. The path B is not feasible. Why it is not feasible? Because we are not getting the proper synthetic equivalents. Path A is it looks feasible. It gives pseudo information that it gives a very good synthetic equivalence. But if we start the synthesis of the target material by considering the starting material, what we observe that the stereoselectivity, regioselectivity and the chemoselectivity is not going to follow over here. Path A and path B, both pathways are not feasible pathway. So the disconnection approach fails over here. Disconnection approach becomes complicated. So we cannot synthesize the desired product. Whatever planning we have done on the paper, that will not work. It is not going to work. Now let us moving towards the next criteria, that is the select the feasible path and identify the problem. Now we have we tried to select the proper pathway, but we found that no pathway is the right pathway for obtaining the starting material. The reason is there is a chemoselectivity problem. So the problem is also identified over here. So the chemoselectivity is the major problem. So the fifth point is we can write over here. What is the fifth observation? No disconnection approach works over here. No disconnection approach is feasible. And the sixth one is, what is the problem? The problem is the chemoselectivity. Because NH2 will be acetylated and you will get the NHCOCH3. Alright, NH2 is the orthopara director, or it shows orthopara directing effect. So these are the two major concerns about major issues, so that we cannot synthesize the target material. Now what is the solution for that? The solution is FGI. Let us try the FGI, whether if we change the NH2 into NO2, let us see. So apply the functional group interconversion. So again I am going to draw the structure of the target molecule and let us apply the FGI. So this is both groups, they are at the meta position. The same procedure, apply the same arrow over here, but simply write down FGI. Do not write anything that is a disconnection and at all. So write FGI, which indicates that you are converting the functional group. Your operation is conversion of functional group. Now here, which functional group I am going to convert? I am focusing on NH2. So the conversion will be NO2. NH2 is converted into NO2. And this will be your CH3 will remain as it is. Now, as we know that the thought process is from this point to this point, from right to left. So, whatever operation I am doing, so put as a reduction. So, the reduction will give you this information. If I put FGI and the reduction, it means that the NH2 is converted into NO2. So this is a little bit complicated, but after if you practice some problems, it will be easy to understand. So this arrow itself indicates that this is a reverse process. You are thinking in the reverse process. So whatever conversion from this to this place, not this to this place. All right. So NO2 is converted into NH2. That's why I have put reduction over here. So of course the reagents are also required. That is clean in HCl, or you can use H2 and the palladium and the charcoal, etc. There are so many reducing agents. So these reaction conditions right now we keep aside. But the only thing is we have to apply FGI over here. Now let us see whether the problem turns more complicated or it becomes less complicated. Now let us uh, moving towards now we let us moving towards the guidelines. Apply the FGI approach. We have already applied the FGI approach at the 7th point. Now the conversion of NH2 into NO2 will give you a nitro acetophenone at the meta position. Now what is the repeat all the steps still available starting material. Now again consider this as a target molecule. The main motto of the retrosynthesis is try to convert the complicated molecule into the simpler one. So continue and repeat the procedure till you get the simpler starting materials. Now here I have done first operation, that is FGI, the functional group interconversion, where I have converted NH2 into NO2. Now in this case, again I have started the disconnection approach. Now again, what is going to happen now? I have tried this one. So this is a first path. So here it is a disconnection CC, and what are the synthons obtained? So this is a nitrobenzene. So I am just writing the synthetic equivalents. So another synthetic equivalent will be a Cl. All right. Now these two are the starting material. These two are the starting material. This is also starting material. Now observe whether the problem which arises in your earlier synthesis has been resolved or not. Now as we know that what is the pattern of NO2 or the nature of the substituent? NO2 is it exerts a meta-directing effect. It exerts a meta-directing effect. Now in this case, this is a commercially available starting material. This is also commercially available. Now the transformation, these chemical transformations are feasible. The chemical transformations are, now we can see that they are favorable transformation or feasible transformation. Now let us verify whatever we have planned in the retrosynthesis. it should be executed or it should be reflected in the synthesis part. Let us consider the what in the synthesis what you get. Now I am going to write down the synthesis of the target material. In the synthesis, whatever the now one more thing is you can also make it more and more simpler. That is, you can cut over here. That is the CN disconnection, and again you can have the simplest one. That is the benzene and the NO2. This is a electrophilic substitution reaction, aromatic electrophilic substitution reaction. So I can consider this as a starting material, as a simple benzene. So with the benzene, this is the reagent nitrating mixture, keeping 0 degrees Celsius at the temperature, and you will get the nitration. Then with this, what is the role of this NO2? What is the nature of or the pattern? This is a meta-director. This is a meta-director. So I prefer to have this CH3 and Cl so that it will occupy the meta position. It will occupy the meta position of the. Alright. Then the remaining part will be palladium and the charcoal. Simple reduction will give you the formation of your target material. So this will be your NH2, COCH3. So this is your target material or target molecule. Now let me revise one more thing once more, that now here this molecule looks very simple when we start the FGI. When we start the FGI, there are some doubts in our mind that how can we start the retrosynthesis, how can we plan the various steps which are involved in the synthesis. The answer is we have to read the molecule first. This is a target molecule. We read the molecule and then we have applied the various guidelines over here. There are several guidelines, then we have seen one by one. So when we observe the molecule, we can see that there are two functional groups. One is NH2 and another one is COCH3. And what is their relative positions? They are meta to each other. The position is meta position with each other. And what is then after completing this point, then we move towards the pattern or the nature of the substituents, where we found that the NH2 groups and the CH3 groups. NH2 group exerts an orthoparadirecting effect, whereas the COCH3 exerting meta-directing effect. So this is the very valuable information and the most important information which decides the whether the disconnection approach goes in the right direction or not. Then once this part has been done, we move towards the disconnection approach, where we have two approaches, A and B approach. Let us see the B approach first, because here something very fishy I can see over here. So this is a CN disconnection. Here I obtained a good one is the very good synthon, that is acetophenone, but the another synthon, that is the synthetic equivalent of NH2, is not going to obtain or not at all available. So they are bad synthons, so path B is not feasible pathway. Now let us focus on the path A, where we can see that the negatively charged aromatic ring and the positively charged acyl group. Here we obtain very good synthetic equivalents. We obtain aniline as a starting material and acyl chloride as a second starting material. Now, whenever we obtain a starting material and here the first part is over, then the second part starts, that is the synthesis. Actually, we have to verify whatever planning we have done in the retrosynthesis, that has to be verified in the synthesis part. So we consider this starting material as a in the synthesis. So what we observe that the nature of NH2. This is a it exerts a orthoparadirecting effect. It means that the stereochemistry, the regioselectivity and the chemoselectivity does not work properly over here. The another point is when we go for the acetylation, the first thing is the acetyl group will attack on the NH2 group and it acts as a protecting group. So instead of occupying the the various positions at the aromatic ring, it goes to NH2 and it acts as a protecting group. So the chemoselectivity is the major problem over here, we can see. And another thing is, though we have proceed for the second step of acetylation, we observe that because of the bulkiness of the acetyl group at NH position, the ortho position is blocked. So the incoming group will occupy at the para position. Still the meta position is remains unsubstituted. So in such cases, our conclusion is both path A and path B, both are not feasible in this case. So how we can start the retrosynthesis for this molecule? How we can achieve the synthesis of this target molecule? Because the disconnection approach makes this synthesis a complicated one. So no disconnection approach is feasible in this case, and the problem is the chemoselectivity. So we have identified the problem. Now the next step is to apply a functional group interconversion. Now when we apply the functional group interconversion, we observe that we can convert the NH2 into NO2. Now when you see this scenario, the thought process, it reflects that the thought process from right to left. So whatever the conversion is from this point to this point. So you should write whatever the parameters required for this conversion. So here I wrote the reduction and I put the certain reagents which are required for the reduction. You can use the other one also. All right. Then again after the FGI, I have not put any disconnection over here. Now after this, I just consider this as a target molecule. Again, from point 1 to 5, that is the last guideline, this repeat all the steps till available starting material. Now I have to repeat the procedure till I could get a simpler starting material. Now here I have started the same procedure again. The observation, that is identification of the functional groups, then the nature of the function, the pattern of the functional groups, then the disconnection approach. So here I could see that I have observed that this NO2 has meta-directing effect. This is also having meta-directing effect. So then I opted the disconnection approach. So this CC disconnection, to my opinion, this is a better disconnection approach. So this is the starting material. So nitrobenzene is the starting material, but again I have simplified this starting material into more simpler one, that is a simple benzene and a nitro group. Now here when we start the synthesis, I have used the benzene as a starting material, then one equivalent of the nitronium ion will give you a nitro substituted benzene, that is a nitrobenzene. And then as we know that the nitro group has a meta directing effect, so it undergoes acetylation and the meta position has been occupied over here. How the FGI works over here and why the disconnection approach doesn't work, that has been explained over here. So the rest of the part will explain in my next lecture, that is the functional group part 2.